Hello guys, in this lesson we will see about the verification of Beer-Lambert law using silver nanoparticles. Theoretical part of the experiment will be discussed. Aim of the experiment is to prepare silver nanoparticles using the chemical reduction method and to verify Beer-Lambert law. Okay, first silver nanoparticle solution is prepared by reduction method, and then using spectrophotometer Beer-Lambert law is verified. Before you know what is this Beer-Lambert law, whenever you pass a monochromatic light into a sample solution of certain concentration, certain amount of the radiation will be absorbed and remaining will be transmitted. I naught here represent the intensity of the incident radiation, and I here represent the intensity of the transmitted radiation. So always the intensity of the incident radiation will be greater, so it is indicated by the darkened arrow mark here, okay, than the intensity of the transmitted radiations, which is indicated by the faded arrow mark. C is the concentration of the solution and L is the path length. Usually the width of the cell is taken as the path length. Okay, to make you understand more about what is this monochromatic rays, I wanted to tell you about the electromagnetic waves. What are electromagnetic waves? They are the form of energy that is surrounding all over. Okay, so they consist of both magnetic field waves as well as the electrical field waves. The red color waves here indicates the electrical field waves, and the blue color waves here indicates the magnetic field waves. Both are perpendicular to each other, and the direction of propagation is also indicated here, shown here. Okay, and electromagnetic waves has got two main characteristics. They are wavelength and the frequency. So what is this wavelength? Wavelength is the distance between two crests or distance between two troughs. Okay, and frequency is the number of waves that is passing per unit time, usually in seconds. And unit for the wavelength will be in nanometer, Armstrong, or micron. The unit for the frequency is the seconds or the hertz. Alright. Okay. How does the energy and the frequency are related? E is equal to h nu. That means energy is directly proportional to the frequency, and nu is equal to c by lambda. So that means frequency is inversely proportional to the wavelength. When we substitute mu is equal to c by lambda in E is equal to h nu, you get E is equal to h c by lambda. So that means energy is inversely proportional to the wavelength. If energy is greater, that means wavelength will be lesser. Okay. If the waves has got greater wavelength, that means its energy will be lesser. And electromagnetic rays, it consists of various rays such as cosmic rays, gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet rays, visible, infrared rays, microwaves, radar, and then radio waves. Okay, so we should always arrange it in this order only. So from left to right, actually the wavelength increases. So that means from left to right the energy decreases. That means cosmic rays is of greater energy compared to all other rays, and radio waves are of greater wavelength compared to all other rays. So visible region is a small part in the electromagnetic spectrum. So usually colorimeter or in the spectrophotometer, the colored solutions are analyzed usually. Okay, so if the solutions are colored, that means it is absorbing in the visible region. And one thing you should know that if it absorbs a certain wavelength, for example, if it absorbs green color radiation, it will not be observed as green color itself. Only the complementary color will be visible. To make you understand about the complementary colors, so here complementary wheel I have shown here. If the solution is absorbing red color, then it will be observed as a green color only. So only the trees leaves are observed as green color, but it is not absorbing the green color, it is absorbing the red color radiation. So this is the complementary wheel which shows you, which tells you if, which color is absorbed, which color will be absorbed and all. And the wavelength ranges are also given in this for each and every rays of the visible region. Okay, so that's about the electromagnetic spectrum. And so now coming to the Beer-Lambert law. Beer-Lambert law is actually what it is. Absorbance is directly proportional to the concentration of the solution and the path length also. So epsilon here is the molar absorption coefficient. Okay, absorbance has got no unit. Molar absorption coefficient has got mole inverse, centimeter inverse as unit. Molar concentration, mole is the unit, and optical path length, the centimeter is the unit. How does the absorbance related to the intensity of the radiation and intensity intensity of the incident radiation and intensity of transmitted radiation? A is equal to log I naught by I. How absorbance related to transmittance? A is equal to negative log of transmittance. Okay, so this is actually the Lambert-Beer law, which tells that there is a linear relationship between the absorbance concentration and then the path length. Now let's see about the components of spectrophotometer. Spectrophotometer, it consists of a light source. Okay, it emits the radiations in the visible region C. Okay, so these radiations will be collimated or focused onto a prism. Prism disperses it into its constant colors, and then the slit allows only radiation of particular wavelength. Okay, so the entire setup, that is collimator, prism, and then the slit, it forms the monochromata. So this is the wavelength selector. For example, for our solution, that is silver solution, it absorbs around 520 nanometer. So the radiation of 520 nanometer is only allowed to pass on to the solution, and then the transmitted radiation falls on to the detector. Detector is a photocell which converts the light energy into electrical signal, and in the display you can observe either the absorbance value or transmittance value. Okay, so this is on the essential components of spectrophotometer. But in reality, the spectrophotometer looks like this. Now let's see about the parts it consisting of. It consists of a sample compartment here. Now here it is closed. Okay, so while you are placing the samples are usually taken in a cuvette like this. Okay, while placing it, it has to be wiped with the tissue paper also. So the sample, the cuvette carrying the sample will be pressed inside and then closed. So sample compartment, and then there is zero controller knob, transmittance and absorbance controller knob, and wavelength controller knobs are here. And at the top right hand side, mode selection button, so which will be pressed to select the mode. So there will be a LED light indication here to select the mode, whether transmittance you want to see, or absorbance has to be displayed here, or the concentration value or any factor value is to be displayed here. So for that, mode selection button is utilized. So this side, wavelength display. So this is about the display of wavelength, so for which wavelength controller is used. Okay, so these are the essential parts of the spectrophotometer. So now let's see first about what we need to do. Okay, steps involved in the experiment. First of all, we need to prepare colloidal nanosilver solution. Preparation of the colloidal nanosilver solution. For that, 0.0157 gram of silver nitrate is dissolved in 50 ml of distilled water. To this, 0.025 gram of starch is added under constant stirring. Okay, few drops of base, DEA, diethanolamine or triethanolamine, few drops is added actually to the above mixture, followed by addition of reducing agents. The formed colloidal suspension is made up to 100 ml to form the stock solution. Now the stock solution is prepared. Its concentration is 100 ppm. So this is our first step to prepare the silver nanoparticle stock solution. Okay, stock solution is prepared. Next, we need to have a blank solution. So blank solution is here, distilled water can be used as a blank solution. Then we have to select transmittance by pressing the mode selection button. Okay, so here is the mode selection button. Now what is done? Blank is ready. okay, in a separate cuvette, and the various concentration solutions of different concentrations also ready. Okay, and after that what we have to do is we have to press this mode selection button so that the mode is transmittance now. All right, and then using the zero controller knob, we have to adjust the display here to be 0. Okay, it should show 0 here. Using the zero controller, you have to adjust it so that 0 is displayed here. And after that, the blank solution is pressed into this, as well as using wavelength controller. Okay, here 520 nanometer must be displayed. Okay, and after pressing the or placing the cuvette containing the blank solution, we have to close it, then adjust this transmittance absorbance knob, so that 100 is displayed here. That is, now the mode is in transmittance, 100 is displayed here. For blank solution, 100% transmittance should be there. Okay, so now the instrument is calibrated. After that, take out the blank solution, take the sample solution. So we have got 5 different concentration, means take the lowest concentration concentrated solution in the cuvette and place that one inside. Okay, now we have to change the mode to absorbance. Okay, press it again so that the mode is now absorbance, so that absorbance is displayed here. So that we have to note down. That's it. So likewise, we have to find out for other concentrations also. So when you take next higher concentration, you have to rinse the cuvette with that concentrated solution, and then fill that solution. Okay, and after that we have to find out the absorbance value. So various steps involved in the experiment. First, stock solution must be prepared. So you should be ready with the blank solution also. Next, select transmittance mode is to be selected by pressing the mode selection button. Okay, next step is to set wavelength to 520 nanometer, because silver particles absorb in 520 nanometer. Then using zero controller, we have to set transmittance is equal to 0. Next step, we have to place the blank solution and set transmittance is equal to 100. Okay, and next step is to place sample solution and note down the absorbance values. Now I'll tell you how to prepare different concentrations of the solution. Okay, so now after all the steps is being done, the final step is the plotting of graph, absorbance versus concentration, to verify Beer-Lambert law. This is the table which shows you how to prepare the different concentrations of silver solution. So from the stock solution, 1 ml is taken, to that 9 ml of distilled water is added. So the final concentration of the silver in ppm is 10. If 2 ml of silver stock solution is taken and 8 ml of water is added, the final silver concentration will be 20. So likewise. Okay, and for each concentrations, absorbance value is noted from the spectrophotometer. So while you are taking the measuring the absorbance value for each concentration, every time we have to rinse the cuvette with the same solution and wipe the outer side of the cuvette using tissue paper before you press it into or place it into the instrument. Okay, so these are the values for all the concentrations actually absorbed from the instrument. Okay, and next step is to plot graph between the absorbance and concentration. Okay, so Beer-Lambert law is to be verified here. Actually, it states that absorbance is directly proportional to the concentration of the solution and then the path length. Okay, it just looks like the equation y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, linear equation. According to this, if y is plotted against x, y and x are variables here, the slope of, you will get a straight line whose slope will be equal to m. Okay, intercept will be equal to constant. So this a is equal to epsilon cl, it just resembles like this only, where c is a variable here, a is a variable here, and epsilon and l are constants. Epsilon and l are constant and c is equal to 0. So that means if you plot absorbance versus concentration, then you should get a straight line passing through the origin whose slope is equal to epsilon l. Okay, if you get a straight line while plotting absorbance versus concentration, that means Beer-Lambert law is verified. Okay, so when you plot absorbance versus concentration with those values that is observed here or tabulated here, you are getting a straight line passing through the origin. So now the Beer-Lambert law is verified. Okay, hope you all understood the experiment, guys. Okay, thank you very much for watching the video. Meet you all in next class. Thank you.